Hey everybody, welcome to Titans of CNC Academy. My name is Billy Boyce, and right now I'm going to take you through modeling the TITAN-4M. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is make sure we are in the design workspace up here, and then we can go ahead and get started by clicking Create Sketch. Let's choose this top plane so we're looking down at the part. We can come up here to Create and select Line, or press L on your keyboard for Line. I'm going to go ahead and snap right to the center here and just click one time with the left mouse button, drag that straight up, type in 2 and enter. I'm going to go ahead and press L for line again. I'm going to snap to this top and kind of bring this down, and I want to be in line with this guy here down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop it like that, hit escape, and now I'll use a constraint to keep those horizontal to each other like that. Now I'll press D for dimension, go from there to here. We have a dimension of 1.155 and enter. And now we'll go ahead and we'll mirror this over onto this side. So we'll say create, mirror. We'll select just that one line, come over here and select the mirror line, and then we'll choose this one here. Now we can just say OK, and then press L for line, and we'll connect those two. Press escape. We can say finish sketch, and now we can come up here to create solid, extrude. And we'll just type in minus 0.750 and enter. I'm going to double click the center mouse button, bring that into view. Then we'll come up to modify and fillet. Select the three corners, then type in 0.05, enter. And that finishes off sheet 1 of 3. So now we can move over to sheet 2 of 3. Here we're going to be placing the threaded holes. So what we'll want to do is come up to create sketch. We'll click that top surface. We'll go down, we'll do the drop down and create, and go to point. I'm just going to drop down 3 points, kind of randomly about where they might go. Then I'm going to press escape and D for dimension. I'm going to go from here to here. We have a dimension of 1.637, enter. From here to here, 0.189, enter. Go from here to here, 0.828, enter. From here to here. And while this is selected, I'm going to copy this dimension by simply selecting it and pressing enter. Now I'm going to use constraints to get this one in line with the center and this one with that one. So we'll come up here and do horizontal vertical. We want a vertical constraint from here to here, then a horizontal from here to here. We can say finish sketch, come up to create hole. I'm going to go ahead and select the 3 points. Do not be worried if your part is getting cut in half by big red circles right now. We'll go ahead and fix that right now. We want to make sure we're set to distance. Hole type, we want the countersink. Hole tap type, tapped. Threaded offset, full. Drill point, angle. We have a minimum thread depth of 375. So let's just go ahead and go 1/2 inch. And at the top, we have a chamfer diameter of 205. So we can go ahead and just say 205 right here. Let's do a 90 degree and a 140 drill tip. Then we want to make sure we're set to ANSI, unified screw threads. Size is going to be a number 10. And designation is going to be a 1032. We'll leave everything else alone and say OK. So that'll give us our nice threaded holes with the chamfer at the top. Now that completes sheet 2 of 3. Now we can go ahead and move on to sheet 3 of 3. Here we're going to add the hole in the center, some drop downs on the edges, and some saw cuts. So let's go ahead and get started by coming up to Create Sketch, selecting that top surface. We can come up here to Modify and select Offset, or press O on the keyboard for offset. We'll select this edge, and we're going to say minus 0.174, enter. Then we're going to come up here to Modify and Fillet. And we have a fillet radius of 189, so I'm going to select here and here, then type in 0.189. I'm not going to hit enter, and then I'm just going to go ahead and select the next two and the next two. Now I can press enter, and there we go. I'm going to press C for circle. I'm just going to kind of drop one over here. I'm going to go ahead and put a dimension of 0.378. Enter. I'm going to press C again, snap one over here. I'm not going to put a dimension on it. And another one over here, I'm not going to put a dimension on that one. I'm going to go ahead and press escape. I'm going to select this guy and say equal that guy. I want this guy and that one. So now this 378 will drive these dimensions as well. So we can go ahead and press escape. Now we want to come up here to constraints and say concentric, this one with this threaded hole. Now we're going to press escape. I'm going to go ahead and with the left mouse button, I'm going to click and drag this over just kind of inside the triangle. I'm going to try not to let it snap to anything. Something like that. Now I'm going to hit escape and come up here to tangent under constraints. We'll click this circle and the side of our part, the circle and the side of the part. Circle and the side of the part, circle and the side of the part. We're going to come up here to modify, trim, and we're just going to take out that little part of the circle there. Hit escape. Go up to solid, click extrude. Go ahead and select that one right in the middle and say minus 0.650 and enter. You can see our sketch has now been hidden because we used it to create a feature. What we need to do now is kind of drop that arrow back down, or just drop that arrow down and turn on the eye so we can see the sketch again. And we're going to go up to extrude. Select those three corners and say minus 0.375. Enter. Now we can turn that sketch off again and we look like that. So now let's go ahead and draw the saw cuts in the side. So we'll say create sketch. Let's choose this surface right here because it's at the 375 depth. C for circle. I'm going to put one right here. I don't care about the diameter of it. And then I'm going to put another one over here. We see a radius of 2, which means a diameter of 4. And enter. I'm going to use the horizontal vertical constraint real quick for this and that. I'm going to press D for dimension. We'll give this one a dimension, 0.667. Enter. Now let's go ahead and do this big circle. We got a distance of 2.222. Enter. Go from here to here. A height of 1.949. Enter. We can go ahead and say finish sketch. Extrude that circle. Let's go ahead and type in 0.125. We can see it's automatically cutting. It knows what we're doing. So we just go ahead and say enter. And now we have that one cut. So now what we want to do is rotate that 2 more times so we have a total of 3. So the way we're going to do that is come up to create, pattern, circular pattern. We want to make sure this is on features. And then we're going to come down here to our history ribbon and we're going to select the last thing we did, which was that cut. We're going to say select, and we don't have an axis to rotate around. So what we're going to do is just turn that last sketch on, select that circle in the middle. 3 under quantity is a default, so we're going to get exactly what we want, and we can just say OK. Go ahead and turn that sketch back off, and now we have all 3 of those cuts. Let's go up to Modify and say Chamfer. We're going to select that edge, the inside and the bottom edge, type in 0.01 and enter. And there you go, that is the Titan 4M.